Okay, and we're hopping right into the last run of our marathon. We have XandoToaster, who has put a lot into Spyro, whether it's in his 120 runs or his cheat percent runs and testing out Kovlis. Maybe he's tassing or finding some new tricks. And he's going to be joined by on commentary, who's been a part of this community quite a long time. Um, so, guys, what brought you into this community? Made you start running Spyro?
Um, oh, I'm home, by the way. I really was interested in just playing the game more, and as a result, I just kind of gravitated towards speedrunning. Once I was around when the Skype group was the thing, so meeting those people was pretty cool. So that's really what brought me in.
All right. And it seems like we're gonna have to just jump right into the run.
That sounds good.
Zando's having a little bit of mic issues, but Hum will be able to carry out the commentary on his own.
Sure thing.
Yeah, and when you're
Let me
ready, count it down.
All right. So I gotta do this in a chat or in a channel too. So just hold with me. Okay, here we go. Three, two, one, go. A little tricky, but we got it working anyway. So hey guys, this is Spyro the Dragon, wrapping up the sort of Spyrothon showcase here. This is going to be any percent as all the other categories have been, and it's going to be a pretty cool category. You've seen the Reignited Trilogy version of this a little bit earlier if you were able to catch it, and there's some things here and there that are the same, but fundamentally you'll see a couple differences as well. So it'll be cool to see how the two things compare as we play through the game. So right from the start, we just jump right over to the first dragon there and head into Stonehill. So as you guys probably gathered from the reignited version of this is the same thing. You have to collect a certain amount of some collectible to move on to the next world, ultimately leading to the final world where you can kill Nasty Nork and finish the game. So to briefly go over it, so let's see if I can remember this. First world is 10 dragons. This is artisans. Second world is peacekeepers, and we need to get 2,000 gems there. Third world is magic crafters, and we have to get some amount of eggs. I think it's 5. I should know at this point. And beast makers, we have to get 50 dragons, and before we can leave the second to last world, Dreamweavers, we need to collect 6,000 gems, and then we just wrap up the final world there. So over the course of the run, we need to collect a little bit of all 3 of those collectibles so that we can reach those ultimate totals of 6,000 gems, 50 dragons, and 5 eggs, so that we can move through the game. The first world doesn't really have too many gems that are like real high value, so we try to just collect the 10 dragons or so that we need while collecting some valuable gems along the way, and then from there we move on and go to the other worlds where there are some more high value gems. So little jump there, a couple little flubs there, but that jump can be a little tricky, not intended, and really takes advantage of the different movement mechanics that we can use in this game. So in this game, you have your basic jump, glide, charge, but what's really important is being able to maximize all of the extremes with those different forms of movement. So for example, there we're able to jump and at max height do a charge to kind of skip into an area that we wouldn't normally be able to reach if we were just kind of playing the game at a more basic level. And you see that a lot throughout the game. Some of it more obvious than others, but that's an example of something that's really pretty clear that we're doing something with the movement that's not exactly intended. And we're actually going to do another one here. So town square, same thing. There's not really too many gems. We're just here for dragons for the most part, and we'll collect some gems along the way, but nothing big. But we're going to go over to this little ledge over here and do basically a similar thing that we just did in Stonehill, to basically take advantage of the jump height and charge to get up here a little bit earlier. And it's really convenient because there's some good gems up there, and then 2 dragons right back to back. Then we're just going to clean up a little bit here before we get one last dragon and head off to basically the next world. Do a couple tricks along the way. All right. And with Devlin, we're going to exit the level. And as we exit, that doesn't mean anything. You're going to see Toaster actually do something a little bit different here. He's going to glide along this kind of, it's not really a wall, but for the sake of explaining it, we'll call it a wall. And he's going to glide at a specific angle that'll actually allow him to gain/maintain height until he can reach a section of that outside scenery where he can stand. And that allows him to jump over to that section of the world, grab that dragon, and save a little bit of time. So, will he wall glide? Will he wall glide? Will he wall glide? Sure he can, yeah. Marco's happy. We got all the dragons that he needs. He doesn't care about the rest. See, they can stay frozen in Marco's eyes. In the 100% category of this game, the 120% category, collecting them, he's okay with that. He's chilling, but he really doesn't give a shit. Sorry if language is a bad thing here. If you collect more than 10, he just wants the 10. I'm unhinged. Anyway, we're in Peacekeepers. And Peacekeepers is not a level where we'll be peace sleepers. We're going to go into Dry Canyon here. And there's some crazy stuff that we can do here to get some gems and dragons a little early. So right off the bat, you're going to see him flame this fan chest. And if a little unknown thing with the fan chests in these games is the shrapnel that pops off of the fan chest once it's exploded actually has properties to it that allows it to home in and damage enemies. And a little bit later in this level, not too much later, you will see that come to fruition where he can kill one of these big guys here and get his 25 gem without having to actually flame him. So that's pretty cool. And here's Boris. He's pretty cool. But yeah, so right over by this vulture, there is a 25 gem just sitting there. And that's actually because that fan chest hit him and damaged him a little bit early. We're going to go for a tough jump here. And he got it. So that really doesn't look too fancy of a jump. It's not frame perfect or anything, but it's pretty tough. You have to really take advantage of momentum and it's a technique called charge gliding in order to make that glide the unintended way there. That looks like something, and maybe for like a casual player, they might see that area and they're like, how do I get over there? Well, there is an intended way that's a little sneaky, a little cool. But if you're fast, you can just do it the way that maybe everybody thought you could, which is awesome. Let's see here. Oh yeah, charge gliding. So charge gliding is basically just as simple as the name might imply. When you're in the air from a jump or whatever, you can do... Oh, that's a shame. I actually forgot about that proxy, so no big deal. Well, he gets to try it again. We'll actually talk about this real quick then. So if he can get it here, you can flame this big mama just right, and unfortunately didn't work out that time either, where as she's falling in her death animation, she will actually squeeze Spyro into that corner, and that'll actually cause him to launch in the air. Allows you to get some quick, really, really good gems, and I think an actual dragon that you maybe wouldn't get in another route that would be comparable, which is pretty cool. But yeah, back to charge gliding. So when you're in the air from a jump, you can normally just press X to start a glide. but something that's a little bit more advantageous for speedrunning is to press square to charge, and then immediately after you press square, press X. The movement takes a little bit of time to get used to. Sweet magic stairs there. That was awesome. But once you do, it's a really fluid movement, and it allows you to reach areas a little bit easier than you might otherwise you might have trouble doing, or it might not actually be possible without a charge glide. And it's basically so advantageous that once you get good enough at the game, you're pretty much doing charge glides in place of every single instance that you would normally glide, which is pretty cool. All right. Cool. 18 dragons, and Toaster's gonna go over here and head to get some extra gems here that he missed because that proxy didn't quite work out. But no biggie, go grab those right after the dragon and move on to the next one. All right. Now we're heading into Night Flight. Compared to Reignited Trilogy, there's not really too many differences. I think the Reignited Trilogy flights are a little bit more complex based off of how the movement works. But the general idea is just cutting corners as much as you can and staying closest to the ground as you can, because you accelerate faster when you're closer to the ground or closer to the water. So you'll see Toaster taking as much advantage of that as he possibly can. Flight levels are quick, and they're just quick gems basically. So we do quite a bit of them throughout the run, just to grab as many gems as possible, because once we get to Dreamweavers for that 6,000 gem requirement, we're going to be wanting them pretty badly. So, but other than that, it's a pretty simple level. Man, I'm sad. I'm over here, I'm the hummus, and I'm missing my toast. It's tragic, but he's doing a great job, representing Spyro. So as long as he's able to play the game, we'll keep pushing on. Alrighty. It's gonna go over here and get. I'm trying to think. This might be the first egg that he collects. Yeah. So you'll see him do a little bit of movement there. He kind of charged when he flamed. He kind of flamed the thief and then did like a charge jump right after. If you can do that effectively, it will pretty much skip the thief collection animation that happens. And it's just a little bit faster. You keep your momentum going forward. You'll see throughout all of Spyro 1, and this category is no exception, that keeping momentum is the most important thing in this game to going fast. There are tricks. You'll see some later in the run. But it's really, really important that you maintain your momentum through using effective movement. That's really going to be where your big time saves are. So Dr. Shemp, also another pretty simple level. We'll see him. He's up there. He thinks he's so cool. And he really, he kind of is pretty cool. So I think we're going to leave him alone. We're just going to get out of there. And yeah, guys, he might be cool, but his gems are slow. It's not worth it. Apologize if you guys hear my dogs barking. If you don't, then don't pay attention to it. I didn't say anything. All right, we're heading into Ice Cavern. This is the last level of Peacekeepers. Trying to think if there's anything of note outside of some just good movement, solid movement that you just need to do. This is a pretty tough level. There will be, so I mentioned magic stairs in Clifftown previously. I just kind of mentioned as he did it. There is another magic stairs in this level, and it's a little bit easier. Actually quite a bit easier. It's something that is consistent enough where we can just do it. Instead of in Clifftown, you kind of go for it, and maybe you get it, maybe you don't. Doesn't really matter. This one, If you mess it up, it's more dramatic, but it's consistent enough. It's not a big deal. All right. But while we're watching this, we can talk a little bit about routing in general. So if you're familiar with 120%, you're collecting all of the gems, all the dragons, all the eggs in every single level. So there's routing, of course, to collect everything quickly, but this routing for any percent is a little bit different. And it really comes down to learning and trying to determine basically your maximum value of gems for the quickest route possible. And that makes total sense. But it can be quite a challenge to kind of craft and figure out what works best. And when you are routing out the levels, a lot of the times you want to route out a lot of extra gems throughout. So you're not routing out specifically, I'm going to get these 6,000 gems. If we were perfect, sure, yeah, that we would route that out and make it so that we do 6,000 gems, the exact same ones every time. But the thing is, a lot of the times the gems can be a little finicky, or we might do movement just a little bit off and we might miss a gem. So routing really brings in a lot of extra gems throughout each level. That way, if we miss one, we can just skip it, keep moving forward, keep your momentum going. So that's really a huge important factor in how we kind of plan out the route for this category. Totally forgot what that blueness was, but he was okay. He was like, you're good. You got the gems and you can move on. It's whatever. So we're off to Magic Crafters. This can be a pretty tough world, in my opinion. And I know you guys care about my opinion, so I'm going to share it. This is one of the trickier worlds for me in any of the categories. I think I'm just not very good at it. But it introduces a new mechanic in the game called supercharging, and it uses it in a couple of the levels. And I think as a result, it introduces this new mechanic, and it makes it a little bit harder for consistency. But when you do things right, it looks pretty cool. Now that I said that, Alpine Ridge doesn't have any supercharges, but we'll get there. Alpine is a pretty cool level. I think it's known as like generally a kind of a favorite. It has a really cool little stair skip there. It's a pretty cool level amongst a lot of people, I think. It's one of the few levels that really has high importance on cycles, like throughout the entire level. So there is a little bit of pressure to play well throughout the whole thing. Obviously, you want to do that so you can go fast. Oh, an unfortunate loss of a glide there, but that's no big deal. Quick little death, and we can get back into it. Obviously, you want to go fast. In general, we're doing a speed run, but there are a few levels, Alpine is one of them, where it's really important to go fast because there's different cycles, and those can slow you down over the course of the level. Terrace Village is another one that is huge with the different cycles that you can get, depending on how fast you go, but we actually won't be going there for this category. Neat little trick there that he did. Once he got in the cave, you saw him glide a little bit to the left and then hold that a little bit before flaming and charging into the monster there and the flame chest or fireworks chest. Sorry. Doing that way allows you to flame the fireworks chest without the monster getting in the way and causing a bunch of trouble. Cool. Headed off to High Caves now, and that's where we're gonna see some good stuff with the supercharge. It really basically you get introduced to the supercharge, and then we're right off to it. We start doing a lot of stuff with it, and these first couple levels that we or the next couple levels that we'll see. All right. A little bit of interesting movement tech that we're doing here to get these blue wizards. So something I haven't quite mentioned yet is the idea of flame charging. And we're really creative with our names here. Flame charging is literally just flaming and charging, but it really helps get the point across pretty easily. And the really cool thing about the flame charging mechanic is you can flame charge a lot of different things in the game. And instead of the gem popping up in the air when you flame, if you do a flame charge properly, the gem will hum in directly to you. And we use that in tons of areas throughout the game. We'll do it, or we'll use it to get gems to home in from an enemy that maybe wouldn't normally do so, like the blue wizards. We'll speed up little sections with the regular chests, and anywhere in between those as well. It really helps to cut corners even more, preserve momentum, like I was saying before as well. Oh, nice. You might have seen that Spyro was in the air after that dragon. There's a fodder that is over there, and if you approach him from a certain way, he's very likely to proxy you up in the air after that dragon, just based off of how you're positioned. So we're in the supercharge here. He's gonna jump over to this section, and hopefully, if everything goes well, he's gonna do a couple more jumps here. Good stuff. One more jump. Two more jumps, I guess. He's getting a little fancy there. And he got it, so that's really good. Even though there was a little flop earlier in the level, we got some bike caves. That's awesome. So we affectionately call that section bike caves if you get that whole supercharge. And he did it. That's my boy. I'm going to BRB real. All right, I'm back. All right. Off to Wizard Peak. Fun fact about Wizard Peak, actually. So Wizard Peak has a category where you collect the dragon that's at the peak of the end at the peak at the end of the level. I don't know why I can't talk right now. And it's called Lucas percent. And our runner right now, Toaster, speedrun world record by Hummeldon, 0.5 seconds. Nice. Yeah, our runner right now, Toaster, has the world record in that category by doing a super difficult wall glide from the start of Magic Crafters over to where Wizard Peak is, and then doing a couple hard tricks in this level itself to collect Lucas as fast as possible from the start of the game, and using a exit or all levels cheat. Really kind of just quirky category, but it's pretty cool. The fact that he was able to get the wall glide that he does there, super awesome. So check that out if you can sometime. And while I was blabbering on, he also did another awesome supercharge there. Basically took it through a couple different avenues, as you saw, to collect as many gems as possible while still keeping that supercharge before getting that egg right at the end and taking the death to get right back to the supercharge ramp. Now we're just going to do a quick climb. He's getting some really good gems here with some good gem homing and all that good stuff. Is he going to go for triple treat? It looks like he did, so that's awesome. So if you flame that area just right and kind of weave your flame just a little bit to hit all of those spring chests at the same time, you can actually collect them all at the same time. We just collect Lucas there, and we're out. All right. Gonna see some super cool speed tech here. And there it was. Did you guys see it? That was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. It's a secret to everybody. All right, okay. So what he did there was he entered the level from the backside of it, and it seems a little bit odd, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he do that? Well, if you're paying attention, if you weren't like just listening to my voice with like your eyes closed or something, you might have been watching the run. Maybe, I don't know. You might have seen a dragon, and we love dragons here. We love them, but they just talk and they shake and they take a long time to break open. It's just a pain. It's a pain. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. We don't want to watch it. If only there was some way that we could skip the whole animation of him. You know, you touch him and then he shakes, and then if there was some way. If there's some way. I don't know. Maybe someday we'll find something. I think we just found something. Toaster, how did he do it? In a marathon? In a marathon run. This man comes out with a new strat. If I had to guess, it was that he entered the level from the backside. And you know, if I had to think about it, maybe he touched the dragon before the level started loading, and then the level started loading, so then it still counted him collecting the dragon, but it didn't have to skip, it didn't have to do all the animation stuff. Maybe he skipped it. I don't know. I just don't know. I'll have to talk to Toaster when, you know, Discord decides to work for him. But as of right now, it's my only speculation. So, Blowhard is a great level. I love this level so much. It is so fast, and the gems are amazing. I've gone on record to say that this is probably like the best gems per second value out of all the levels. It was in court. I said it, so you know, you guys can hold me to it. This is a great level for gems, and we basically collect all of them because they're so quick. There's 400 in total. We collect 395 of them, and the level's over and done as quickly as possible. Most of the gems throughout are 5, 10, and 25s. So the value there is just amazing. Boulder skip. Awesome. So we're heading to Beastmakers. We need 50 dragons before we can leave Beastmakers. And once we get 50 dragons, we're done. Well, we're not done. Well, maybe we are. We'll get there. But, you know what I will say? Once we get 50 dragons, we may or may not possibly be done collecting dragons. We will see. So there's Terrace Village. There is a route where slower people that actually are really fast because of a result of them being good at movement, but then they do really slow routes for some reason, is bonkers idea. They use that route. But it's not faster to do anything there. We do a route that basically allows us to skip that level. Because the gems and the dragons there aren't worth the value. But what is worth it? Wild Flight. It's a flight level. What can I say? It's good gems. There's not really too much to say here. Hopefully he can do some quick movement here at the start. I think he's probably going to go for the faster routes, which, if everything goes well before, we can see. And it looks like it might be in good shape. Let's see if he goes for it here. So if he goes for the faster route, you're going to see him flame. I think it's two. Oh no, he's going for the easier one. It's not that much faster. I mean, it is, but if you mess it up, then you're losing a bunch of time anyway. So I don't blame him at all there. Because this route super consistent. Wild Flight is, I would say, is probably one of the easier flight levels. If you do that route, if you do the harder route, it easily bumps it up to being the hardest flight. Oh man. I hope I'm representing Toaster well. He's such a hero of mine. This is Cletus. He's cool. And we're going to go into Mr. Boggs. Mr. Boggs is he's a tough man. He's a strict disciplinarian. He doesn't mess around. But we're still gonna show him who's boss. That was really cool. He just did a magic stairs there. That is insane. And then Mr. Boggs told him, "Hey, let's slow down." He did another magic stairs. This man is out of control. Sweet. So this level is highly dependent on... So the frogs, casually, a lot of people recognize them as being pretty tough. They are more manageable once you get better at the game, but their positioning can be a little bit random at times. So learning how to cope with that can be a little bit difficult throughout the run. And sometimes you just have to skip out on a couple of them for either safety purposes or it'd be too slow to go out of your way to grab them. This is Zeke. He's pretty cool. This part in particular, all those two frogs are the only ones that are going to be in random places. But depending on where they are, they can really mess with you. And unfortunately, we see a little bit of that here. But on a positive note, Toaster just did 2 boar flame charges in a row, and that's amazing. So I mentioned flame charges a little bit earlier. Oh, wait, is that Bubba? He's pretty cool. So I mentioned flame charges earlier. Not all flame charges are kind of created equally, and this madman is still going sparkless. This is awesome. Some of them are a lot easier, some of them are a lot harder. It really depends. Boars, I would say, are probably in the upper range. I don't want to necessarily say top 3 unless I'm forgetting one, but they might be in the top 3 of the hardest. I would say that them, maybe the Blue Wizards and Magic Crafters, Homeworld area, and or not Homeworld, Wizard Peak, and High Caves. Pardon me. And the Ghost guy, the Ghost Armors. Why can't I talk right now? Those are all pretty tough. There are some that can't be flame charged at all. And you just have to kind of figure that out as you go. You'll learn eventually. There are a few that you just simply can't flame charge, and it's unfortunate, but no big deal. It's a pretty tough section, as you can probably guess. Lots of frogs that are just jumping everywhere, and then not only that, they sprinkle in a couple of those knife guys just to really throw you off. But with well-placed flame charges and everything, you can reasonably get that section pretty consistently. my favorite flavor is beans. This is nice. Dude, he's out of control. He is getting these. You know what? Boar flame charges might be the easiest thing. Now that I'm seeing this, he's killing it. Cool. His gem count is a 4318 right now. I think generally after this level, you're looking for close to 4700. I might be wrong about that. It's been a little while since I've done some any percent. But I think that's about where you're looking. And you'll see right from the start, he's gunning it for this dragon. His goal is to basically beat the thief that was right at the start there that was taunting him. Beat the thief here so that if he does, the thief will warp over to this island instantly instead of him having to wait for the thief to go through the entire route that you're intended to go on before he gets there. It saves about 2 seconds or so. I'm trying to think. I think we collected Lyle. He's pretty cool. I don't know who the dude at the island over there is. He's over at the island. I think that speaks for itself. He's pretty cool though. Don't get it twisted. So there you saw that he was able to get that thief a little bit early. That's not exactly it's not insanely difficult or anything, but it can be a little tricky. You just want to be able to get your flame and then charge just right, and you can kill that thief before he starts moving around, and save a little bit of time. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And coming up here, he's gonna do some interesting movement here on the supercharge, and then he's gonna jump up, and he got the double. My man got the double stone knot fan chest. Amazing. So when you are in supercharge, some of the scenery in the game kind of acts as a makeshift ramp or ledge or something to jump off of. So what we did there is we used that part of the tree with supercharge speed and basically just use that to jump up and skip having to do a longer route to get up to that section. And a plus is you can reach that section where the two fan chests are while you're in supercharged speed, allowing you to really take advantage of that and not have to flame the fan chests manually. Saves a ton of time. Really good gems. So what you might have seen Toaster trying to do there was a little bit of a wall clip. Not going to brag too much or anything, but it might have been something that I came up with or discovered, so to speak. You know. Might be the only thing that I've discovered in this game. Pretty sick. Oh wait, not sick, sorry. That's pretty cool. He's outside of the missed wall clip, you know, he's making pretty good work of this level. As you can see there, he went to grab that gem. He didn't quite collect it, but it didn't stop him. He just kept moving forward. That sort of thing is very necessary in this category. I think for newer players, they'll get a route down, but they'll be so tempted to jump back and grab a gem if they missed it while they were sprinting through. Usually you don't have to worry about it too much unless you miss a ton of gems, then you're going to start worrying. And that's kind of where the importance of keeping good gem counts throughout, so that you know if you're really far behind or really far ahead. That way you can play more risky. Good stuff. And right there, he demonstrated if you are basically right over the spot where those gems spawn after you kill a boss, or it can be a lot of different things, but if they traditionally like spawn and like shoot up in the air like that, if you're standing over the area where it spawns, the gems will just home in on you as long as you have sparks. So he takes advantage of that there so that the gems don't just jump around. And in Metalhead, you might have seen he collected 50 dragons. So the rest of the dragons, I'm sorry to tell you, they're gonna stay frozen. Every single last one of those puppies. Yo, dude, that was awesome. This, you know, I made a joke before the run started that this was the one that had skateboarding in it. Obviously, everybody knows that the third game is the one that has skateboarding in it, but I might have been wrong. I might have been right on accident. Honestly, did you guys see that? Sick 50-50. BS Dark Slide. Awesome. So what we're going to see here with these two guys is normally you're supposed to use a cannon that's in the level to make these guys small, and then you can just charge into them. another alternative thing that you can do is get stuck. Oh, dude, that was sick. I love it. I don't know. Is that a manual or something? I don't know. Or what's the skateboarding? I've been out of the skateboarding where you hold a trick on like a vert ramp. You're like holding the edge and you're like doing like a handstand or something. That's what that was. Anyway, so normally you're supposed to get hit by those guys. You can do it without getting hit, but it's more common that you're going to get hit and use the momentum. It's not a grab, dude. It's a lip trick. Thank you. Gosh, Dest. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I'll just move on. So this is the last flight level, and what we're gonna want to see after the flight level finishes is we're collecting 300. We're collecting 300 gems here. We want to see what our total is because we're gonna go to one last level before we move on to the last world. The last level is gonna be Jocks. Jocks. Sorry, I put too much of a J in there. I truly apologize. The chests in this level, they have a tendency to like bounce around, so I don't blame him for missing them a couple times. They move on like a weird cycle and they're just like shifting sideways. It's, it happens to the best of us. Anyway, we're going to see what the total is. That's going to give us a good idea of how many gems we need to collect in that level. The boss and Jacques, formerly known as Jacques, he is now known as post your names in the chat. He has really good gems. Like you get a lot of 25 gems from him. I think it's 125 total, if I'm not mistaken. So our goal is to basically see how much we need before we get there, collect how much we need to make up the difference, and then go finish him off to finish off the level. And I didn't see what his total was, but I'll check it right here. Yeah, so we're going off the Jake from State Farm here. All right, so he needs about 350. That's pretty normal. So he's probably gonna go through the basic route and not really. He's gonna collect like the good stuff, and just keep moving on. He's gonna collect the good stuff. But yeah, this level, there's like a couple little extras that you can collect throughout in case you're missing more gems than maybe you normally would. So it's not too bad. There's a little bit of leeway, but I think he's in good shape. And, pay your respects to that dragon there. I don't even know his name. All right, I'm gonna get some gems. So there's 4 there, 425s, mind you. Oh, so it's even more. It's 175. So it's good. There's good gems there. So we always go there, and he got 360 total. So he's a little over gemmed, but usually you're expected if you're doing well with your routing, you're probably going to be anywhere between like 0 and 15 extra gems by the end of it. So yeah. Uh-oh. Oh no. So we planned for this. You guys are watching Spyro Showcase, brought to you by Faulty, Phoenix, Tooper. You know, uh, problems happen. It's no big deal. I I guess I'll take this time to give a lot of thanks and respect to. Oh, Tooper's here.
So in case it is not obvious, there are some issues going on Toaster's end. We're trying to clear that up as soon as possible so that we can catch the end of the run. We
Cool.
apologize for the inconvenience. That was my customer service voice right there popping out.
That
I don't want that ever to happen again.
that was really good.
Ooh.
But yeah, seriously, I mean, since while we're waiting on this getting sorted out, OBS is crashing. Oh no. Um, yeah, just like the fact that this run had a little bit of um issues getting started, and now this issue with OBS and everything. That's you know not that's not even like a problem at all when you think about how well everything else has gone throughout this marathon. The organizers have done such a good job to keep it basically right on schedule the whole time. So super impressed with that. um Mistakes, or not mistakes, problems like this happen, no big deal. We got to see most of the run and we'll get him back up, and he'll show us the last world.
Yeah, we were actually just discussing this before this run about how smooth this event has really gone, and there hasn't been any major hiccups.
I know.
But
It's so good.
yeah, I guess if there's a time for something like this to happen, now would probably be the best time, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know, Joester, it's one thing to, air out our troubles and our drama stuff, while I'm the one speaking on here. That's just low. I I can't believe you said that. Bailing on trivia. I'll be there next week. I gotta study up though.
So speaking of trivia, some interesting facts that we can discuss right now. Originally Spyro was supposed to be green, but then they thought he would blend in with the grass, so they
Yeah.
made him purple. I feel like
Perhaps even more interestingly, they wanted to pay homage to the grunge era that was in music shortly before this game came out. So they were going to do like a sepia tone sort of deal as well, but that got thrown out too.
such a
Yeah.
shame.
I know they were trying to do some creative stuff, and then we ended up getting this colorful mess. Crazy.
Yeah.
This purple guy trying to go fast.
Yeah, he's not a guy, he's a dragon. I think they made that pretty clear.
Did they? Can we pull the wiki up on stream?
Let's see. Alright, Spyro is a series of platform video games which feature the protagonist Spyro, comma, a dragon. So I think it's pretty clear he is not a guy, and in fact is a dragon. Right, now that it's up, how are we gonna fill the space?
Let me see here. Are we just looking at I haven't even pulled up the stream. We have green square.
Yeah, green square. You know what has green squares? Minecraft.
Oh, we're up.
Ooh, that is definitely Xando.
Big toast. Guys, when life gives you hummus, you eat it with some toast. I don't know, but he's
Does
back, so he's
does
gonna
he
do some
know that
stuff
he's
now.
back? Okay, I think he knows he's back. Ooh,
He's he's
okay.
he's going big or going home right now.
All right.
Oh, I gotta. Okay. We're good. So, Toaster's gonna do some stuff right now. We're gonna see what he's doing. I don't know what he's planning on doing. He is going into Twilight Harbor. Okay. And I think it is going. Okay. All right. So, thank you for bearing with us, everybody. Like I said, stuff happens. No big deal. I'll talk about what we missed. So, we missed the balloonists. We missed basically the flight, in the balloon to Nasty's world. Great time. He's going to do a really cool trick here with the supercharge ramp. So something interesting is there are different properties. I'm probably not the best one to explain it, but there are different properties where there might be like a part of the supercharge ramp where you can't normally get supercharge on. And by doing specific movement, you're able to actually get supercharge speed off of that. And we use that to get from the ramp there or the drawbridge to the end of the level really quickly. So pretty cool stuff. But anyway, we're going into Nasty Nork. Nasty Nork's a pretty cool dude. Wait, no, I got that mixed up. Pull up the wiki again. He's a pretty bad dude. Yeah, okay, pretty bad dude. And we're just gonna chase him down. That's all he's got. He's gonna run for a little bit. We're gonna chase him down. We can't flame him now because he's got plot armor. But we're gonna run with him. We're gonna pace him. We're gonna be with him each step of the way. We're gonna flame him once early, might I add. That's pretty cool. And then we're just gonna go through this little lava section, flame him last time, and then we're gonna cap off this run. He's gonna do some magic stairs because he's having a good time. There we go. So you get we get 4 pink gems or purple gems if you're incorrect, and we finish the game.
What about
GG.
Nasty Nork is toast. So
I practiced that. Every line of that commentary was scripted.
Ooh, okay, we're trying to see if we can have Xando come on and give a few words, but unfortunately it seems like he's still struggling. Anyway.
Still memeing?
Oh, wait, no. Hello, Xando?
Sister, hey!
Hey!
Hey, GG.
Thanks.
It's unfortunate that you got Covalus off stream. That's very unfortunate, but I'm still proud of you for getting it just the same.
Appreciate that, Cooper.
Hey, at the end of the day, we're underestimate. You showed off some cool stuff. I said cool probably a million times in this run. I'm having a good time.
I'm sure it was great. I really appreciate stepping up, Hum.
It's all good. To answer the question, what color are 5 gems?
I don't wanna get involved in that heated debate.
Shoot. Well, that's been the Spyrothon showcase, guys.
And is there any shoutouts you guys would like to give?
I want to give a shout out to DZH, who has been running any percent again recently, because for a long time this was not a commonly run category. Then he came in again and started running it again, and really opened my eyes to how fun it can be. So,
definitely.
Him.
Basically years at this point, last couple years at least, 120 and miscellaneous categories have been kind of the forefront for this game, and we're seeing not a crazy resurgence just yet, but we're seeing a lot more people coming back to this category, or at least experimenting with it a little bit, which is not something I'd really expect to see, and it's great. I mean, DZH 730, if you don't follow him, go ahead and follow him. He's doing stuff basically every day, and it's awesome to see. outside of that, I think at this point it's probably been mentioned to death, I'm sure. But the Spyro Discord, Spyro Speedrunning Discord's great. Stuff for every single game on there to, ask questions, kind of learn about the game, learn about the category. If there's a trick that you're having trouble with, usually somebody can help you out. So, yeah.
All right, and I want to thank both of you guys for doing everything you did today. Really appreciate it. The run was great. The commentary was great. I want to thank all the runners, actually, now that we're at the end. We had a really successful event today. All the runs were super good and high level, and all the races were close. It's really great to cut out of a marathon. And on top of that, I want to thank all the viewers. Chat's been fun. And I just want to give a quick shout out to our Twitter account. If you guys want to follow us at Spyrothon on Twitter, you can find out about signups for future events there, or any other events that we might be doing in the future. Before we sign off for the night, I'm just going to hand everything over to Faulty. He's going to give us a few closing words here.
Hello. Super stole a lot of my thunder with that one, talking about the Twitter and the Discord and all that. But yeah, he's right. If you want to keep up with what we're doing, Twitter is a great place to be. We'll try to be announcing things throughout the rest of the year and going on. Spyro Speedrunning Discord, of course, a great place. There's everybody you could imagine in Spyro Speedrunning world in that place. Spyrothon Discord as well, if you just want to keep up with what's happening at the event in real time, or talk about things, pitch ideas, whatever you want. Spyrothon Discord is a great place for that. Link is in our Twitter bio, and you saw it across the bottom of the runs going on today as well. I don't have too much else for you. I just want to say thank you so much to all of our runners, all of our commentators, everybody else who's been involved, everybody who's in chat, commenting, getting involved, getting excited, or just relaxing in the back, having fun, enjoying the event. I think it was pretty fun, pretty smooth overall. I'm so sorry for Toaster's technical difficulty. I really appreciate your run. I appreciate you sticking to it and coming back and finishing off strong. It was a great run overall. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Last thing, I guess, I want to thank the rest of the organizational crew that we've got here. We've got Phoenix here, who's been doing the scheduling and getting everybody together. 2% Milk was doing a lot of our social media stuff, also helping to get people together. Jake and Take, of course, helping with the logo and graphics. And then our hosts as well. We had Nost, Luca, and 2% Milk, of course, doing some hosting as well. Thank you to everybody involved with that. I will say we are super looking forward to this fall when we're going to be having Spyrothon 6. It is definitely happening. We will have more information for you soon. And I think that's all we've got for now, though. So once again, thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you had a fun time with this showcase. And we'll see you later. Bye.